Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Alright, so I'm on the public test server on DC. There's a couple things I want to check out for Prog. So we're going to. Now, I'm going to actually something I definitely want to check out. We're going to yeah, let's go with 3 health and 1 power. Want some Dom. I don't know why they did stack though. I usually go 2 Dom, 2 rest for tanks. And then All Might. If I want to switch out to DPS on a Rage. Not everyone would get the same configuration. I still have to do Infinity, but I'm not worried about the affinity bonus at the moment. I need these stats locked in. Alright, now I'm on a DPS gear and loadout. So it's kind of important for me to have that. I'm not going to do tactical mods at the moment because that's not going to change the base stats of anything, but we'll unlock. Everything. So into it now. My gear is already, I got the elite sets set on. So I have top tier gear as of now. But I'm going to check out the artifacts. Where's my bombshell Harley Quinn at? She's somewhere. She's not an ally, I don't think. It's whatever. Which trinket do I have on? Yeah. Okay. So it's a DPS setup, pretty much. Now, what I want to go ahead and get into are points. Now, no, wrong one. Okay. Now, I've already distributed the rest of the points. Now, I started off with 385 skill points. And let's assume that the average player is around this many SP. The average player, even if it's Prog. I mean, can you get more? Yes, but the public test gives us access to this much up front without having to chase down more skill points. Meaning, outfits or whatever. So let's just assume, 385, for the average player is what the average player is running. That's fine. It'll work. And especially for the test, regardless. So a lot of the times in DPS, we stack into whatever. But we have a diminishing return. So for example, we put in 5 points, right? So once we unlock this, then it'll say the next power level at 10 points, so it doubles. So we put in another 5. We go down, now it's at 15. So every 5 points we see this boost, right? Now at first it seems linear until we get here, or no, it's the next one. It's usually around whatever, 100 or something, I think. Right, that's a 20. Nope, that's still 5. So every 5 points, we're getting a percentage gain. We're getting percentage gain. Okay. So now we're at 5. So go for 4 to 5 percentage gain, percentage gain. And at one point or another, we're going to bump into a diminishing return. Okay. Just going to kind of point that out here. So now we're at 40. So now we're 10 up. Right? So we're now at 10. We have to invest now 10 at some point. Now we're at 50. Now we're at 60. And it's just kind of good. Now it's double. Now it has to go to 80. So now we're at 20 points invested. Right? Not 10, not 5, not 10, 20. Okay? So you can see the way to ever balance percentage with investment is through a diminishing return. Okay? That's mathematical law and principle. It doesn't have to be as visual. It's even set in the gear that way in every game. In any game you have percentage math, right, you have diminishing returns. You cannot avoid it. It's mathematical law. Yes, they intentionally put it in, but even when they're doing it unintentionally, it adheres to the law of diminishing return. Okay? So we're going to get less eventually. We're going to get so little out of it that we're going to want to redirect into another, for what we have. Now I'm going to do this until whatever. I hate when this does this. Requires 21 skill points. Ugh. Now look, it shouldn't, whatever. See, we're still... no. Alright, great. I wish it would just... Okay. Anyway, so let's assume we're going to redirect into some health or precision eventually, right? Same kind of thing. So we already know we can get away with putting in, whatever. Let's just put the rest in the health for a minute, just for the test purposes. Now, can we, whatever. So at 100, we get 10%, whatever. And so, anyways, there's a diminishing return. But we already put into the health. Now, the max stat, as it is currently with this type of setup, right, is around 170,000 health with this setup. Right? So that's our health for a DPS setup. I mean, my bar's not set up to be whatever. Now, let's get the artifacts here. Now, I want to take, the biggest one for me is the mic one. right there. These do not stack. Alright, they do not stack. Very important that I'm saying this. So we're going to have to upgrade it, but they gave us the stuff. Yeah, I'm already aware. Right, you know, this, which they disable that for the whatever. I know. Yeah, I know. God. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware. Alright. Now we'll slot more. But it's important that I'm kind of going over this today. Yeah. Alright, now, let's also assume, I think I have to get the upgrade materials for this. We run a might build. I gotta go to the vendor and get, oh no. It's fucking... I gotta get all these upgraded. It's gonna be time. But at least you guys are seeing it for what it is. But currently, we're now at 172,000 health on this tune, right? And then when we slot our, and of course that's going to go up, right? I think we can get right around 200k health, I want to say, give or take, but anyways, alright, so real quick here, stat wise, we take a look at health. Now let's say I go to a tank mode, right, just even swapping, but look at the boost just from the tank roll, let alone being spacked into tank roll. So there's a boost. The reason I wanted to check this out, because I'm forming Prog, and knowing that these passive buffs do not stack with each other, it's important for me to go over this, because this buff, right, will increase off of my health. The more health I have, the more it scales 2% of my max health. That's a bigger might gain. So right now, let's take a look at my might. 90,000, right? So let's go ahead and use an ability. We go into stats. I might have to go hit something. Hitting an enemy. Yeah. Alright. Easy peasy. I don't care what I hit. Now, a lot of DPS use this artifact. I'm running like 2 mans or something, you know, you would assume just to do it. But for Prog, it's not optimal. You'd want an off tank running it. Not necessarily the main tank. The main tank does need artifacts that benefits his defensive capability on an MT. But the OT, an OT could run this. Or you could run a setup with an OT in DPS configuration with minor altercation, something like this, to get the same effect. Okay? I just want to hit something really fucking quick. You know what? Let me put a build together real quick. I'll load up together. Alright. Alright. So yes. And all of this is no. Okay, we're going to have that. We'll have that here. No. I like that for the AoE. I know it also causes plasma burn. And I need ball and chain. That's it. Alright, so now when I come in, I'm at 99 might. You see? So I get 9,000 extra might in just tank form. In just tank form. Alright? So let's switch that back. We'll wait for the buff to drop off. Now you'll see once this buff drops off, we're at a higher might level, 93, right? But we'll have about the same effect. Now we're at 102. Now, if I was on a off tank and I hit my DPS with that instead of the DPS using it, this would scale well. Like, I mean, do the math off your health, but you would get a lot more. So that's why a lot of people run like hybrid build, knowing it. But if you're going to run through a prog, you wouldn't want the DPS to slot this effect, because it applies to 7 group members, meaning 1.8 to 2%, right, is going up to 2% is going to be applied from the OT, Why? Because they're going to get a very much a larger scale. So, for example, let's go back to the base. And let's say I was an off tank, right? An off tank does not need, and I, I still need to scale up my, my stuff. But let's go ahead and imprint this for a second. Actually, yeah. Now I don't have all the stuff, and that should be noted. I have to go respec. I forgot to get amenities. Like in solo content or small group, yeah, okay. But I'm saying if you're going to optimize for Prog, you want every fucking DPS to take it the fuck off and run it on the OT. Not the MT, but the OT. Because they're going to still have way more. I forget what the respec station is here. I was just doing in my house. I think it's up top. Alright. Let's see, whatever. Oh, is it underneath? You know what? I think it's actually underneath this, so... Get down. Super speed can be a pain in the dick. But yeah. Hold on. Yep. By the hairdresser and shit. Always just doing it in my home. Bingo. Alright. Now, this will reset all my points. So let's say I'm an OT, for example, right? For example, I'm going to go OT. Imagine I still keep the DPS. I could keep the DPS setup, like gear, right? Because as an OT, I just need to pick up. I'm still going to deal damage. I'm going to be obviously in a tank role, though, for that boost, for the defensive purposes. I can still keep the same gear, technically, as an OT, but my augments are going to change from might to dom, or from health. So I don't, I can use dom in the other one, which I will, and I have to, because you have to have dom. But let's say, I go with just this setup and I still haven't, configured everything over. And then let's say now when I go into the skill points, we're just going to make a slight adjustment into the health, for example. Nothing crazy, because OTs, off tanks, typically are trash pullers and whatever. They have a completely different function. We'll go with the melee. That's just the dual pistols. Whatever, I don't care. I only do one mastery on certain things. On tanks, I only go one mastery. DPS, I go both. Just for combo and stuff. between clip. We got the innate. Alright. Forgot to go back to martial arts and unlock. Alright. Now, OT, once again, I'm not going to go this way. I could, but I'm an OT. So guess what? I want that extra DOM. I'm going to get a 5% scale factor, right, to the DOM. I'm still going to go with the damage modifiers for unlock. Well, here it becomes, do I want the critical? Not really. But the base, absolutely, well, let's hypothetically say I do, for shits and giggles or whatever. You could also go resto into here if you wanted to, but whatever. The biggest thing about it is still health and dom, right? Because I'm a tank, right? So, let's say I go half. Let's just say 150. You know what? I'll make it easier on me. And we split the difference. Right? Because I'm not even going to be running tank gear, for example. Whatever have you. But I still need Dom. Right? Alright. Now, when we come into this configuration, we're well above what we were in the last configuration. Why? Because we have, the different split into the SP. So, and I'll save this loadout and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison. One with, just simple configuration in the SP into damage, one set into tank. Alright. Like I said, I wouldn't do this on an MT. I would not. Let me check out the comments if there is any. It's pretty early. No. Alright, so. Sorry, guys. Alright, so. No. Now when I come in, I get a nice boost up to 85,000. Now, given the fact that I have, and you guys can break it down if you want. So, our might here, without any SP into it, no SP into it, is 85. Drops back down to 79. You see what I'm saying? So we get about a 6,000 gain in this format. Alright? About a 6,000 gain. Okay? We come over here, back into DPS. You see it at 79, 2. Okay, so there's 200,000. Come back over here. There's 25. The might still stays the same, 79. $79. See that? 88. So the way it's going to work is you're going to get the percentage scale off the DPS, but the more you have into the augments in your SP setup from the configuration, it'll scale appropriately off that. But the problem of it is it doesn't stack. There's no stacking effect to these passives. Meaning when this hits, if anybody else has this on, it'll readjust the percentage from the person's superpowers that's got it slotted. Okay? So it's doubled if you're in damage roll. So let's imagine, I know, but let's imagine for an OT, we run a DPS, now a tank setup. Yeah, they're like, oh, it doubled. I know. But I'm saying, I'm telling you guys, this is going to go on an off tank. I'm going over all of this. Trust me, I'm aware of it. So now, let's switch this up a little bit and go with the first loadout that we had. Right? So now you can see that we've been set back into the might roll. Right? We have all the might percentages, but we don't have, we have a little bit into the health. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take the tank gear instead. I don't know why it gives us both sets, but anyhow. Alright, tank gear. Hold on. Alright, now. That's DPS, this is tank. Nothing's changing other than the sets now. We're still going to be playing the DPS role, but remember, we're going to get to double the effect. So that's why I'm like, this is where it's going to pay off. I can get rid of these pets. Because we'll get some Dom, and we can readjust then if we have, more than enough Dom, but, But in this scenario, we wouldn't because we're DPS. We didn't put anything into Dom, but we'll get Dom from the set, so we don't need to. We need to put into the health, into the might. Because why? Because we're an OT. You can still keep like Jory or something, even DPS, and just go with like these with your base gear. We kind of have to switch that out. They keep the trinket might for the might boost. So we don't even need to switch that out. We can keep that to the might. Because this is a heal. It doesn't actually give you a boost to your health. So you can keep the boost of the damage. Okay. So now, when we come back into the stats, we get a slight adjustment up to the scale factor versus what we had. Now, what we can do also is switch out the augments. So, we would still keep, just replacing that one. We would still keep everything, but the biggest thing about it is we would have, our taunts wouldn't be, we'd need a pull. So we'd have to have an AoE pull. Right? That's what we would need. That's just that simple. And the Dom, because you can't do single target because you're not in that format. Alright? So, you would have a pull, and then you could also run like another artifact to keep like some threat. Now, when we take a look into our stat adjustment now, we're at 21 into our health factor. So we're still DPS loadout. We're going to get a double effect, but we're in gear and we've dommed up. So, and now might's at 92, and that's going to scale. So we were at 21. I want you guys to remember this. So hold on, I'll have to go get the vendor to get another one to kind of show you guys what I mean here. So let me go to back to the Hall of Doom. And for anybody who wants to know, that's why you want Dom. Okay? So when I come into the stats, Dom is an effective multiplier for multiple things. Healing, resto, shield, all of it. This is all thing. At high levels, dominance must be higher than the enemy's willpower for crowd control effects. The only thing an off-tank does is crowd control. Why the MT is on the boss. That's it. That's it, pretty much. You know, and then, you know, if you need a double tank, then you go in a tank roll and you have a taunt. But you can still be, you know, your configuration changes accordingly. So I need to get an armory, and we're going to save this, and we're going to do a side-by-side between the health boost to that factor. I mean, the devs were actually pretty good about, you know, doing certain things. You know, assuring, you know, you be whatever. Not that one. This one? Yeah, right here. Alright. Alright. Now, you want to take advantage of all the perks of it and then apply it to your team, is the point that I'm making with this. A standard DPS is only going to go up so high in health. That's it. Right? That's all they're going to do. Why can't I lay down this amenity? Did I consume it? I did. But it only let us have 2 on PTS. You know, I hate when that happens. Yeah, it's only going to let me have 2. Alright, so we'll take the tank. Wish I would have. Yeah, tank roll. Okay. Alright, so we have 2 damage effects, right? Different configurations. One's got DPS gear, one's got tank gear. Right? Or both of them have, yeah. So one's got tank gear, one's got DPS gear. Now, if I switch to loadout 1, you'll see I'm back into the DPS gear. Right? And my max health is 188. We switch back into this setup, and now we're at 200,000. So we're going to get 12,000 more towards a 2% scale to apply buff. Why? It's simple. We're going to get the boost. It's going to double. The effect is going to double in damage roll or controller roll. Controllers are really good for applying buffs. Like the precision one should go on a controller. This one I would actually put in either an off tank or a troller. You could do it on a troller, but troller isn't going to have enough health in comparison. Superpower, a lot of people build might build. That's what they go with. Might is primary in everything. Even if you go precision build, you still run dots. You're still going to use a dots, right, to lay down prior or during your rotation. This is going to give us more bang for our buck on an off-tank DPS setup, but high dom for crowd control. We're going to get 2% from max scale. Now keep in mind, I still haven't slotted any of the other artifacts. Now, this would allow me to take, 2 defensive artifacts for the tank and adjust it as I should, and I'll be playing with it throughout the day. But this also is going to go ahead and allow my group to get the biggest buff from the artifact, because they're not going to stack. If you're going to be in a prog group, these passive buffs that apply to group party don't stack. They keep being applied as the powers fire. So you only want one person in a prog running it. Each of these stat boosts. Buffs. And you want to make sure who's running what in conjunction. Main tanks can't afford to slot this, because, well, first off, it specifically says the effect doubles in damage roll or controller. So you want an off tank. But here's the problem, right? Your taunts and everything are going to be scaled from specific roll indication. And meaning you can still taunt. Well, like, for example, if I want to go into iconic powers, and let's say I use lasso, the lasso, it specifically says tank roll, taunt a single target enemy. If I'm not in tank roll, my taunt, I don't have a single target taunt. I only can use pulls. And my Dom has to be, higher than their willpower. So I have no taunt in a DPS roll. None. 0. It's basically, a damaging effect. Or even if I come into the rage, that's the same factor with my taunt in rage. So I get Rage Blast, which is the taunt for rage. But it has to be in tank roll. It's role specific. Off tanks don't need to be in tank roll. The Dom stat will, even on an off tank, that's why we're still using the tank setups, because the Dom is still going to be applied. We're still going to get a Dom boost to this effect. And we're going to get a higher health boost. But we're spec'd into our might in our SP. So our modifier is derived from the SP and our roll. So we get a roll modifier and we get SP modifier. And we get modifier in artifact that's specific to damage.
Hello, Moto.
Hey, I'm streaming. I'm streaming. Can I talk to you later? All right. Talk to you later. Bye. But anyways, so for me personally, I would have an off tank run a tank setup like this, all tank gear, to get the Dom up, right? For crowd control effects. Now, depending on the class, each class has different CC capabilities. Rage actually has some of the least CC, so Rage makes a good MT. OT, not so much, because it doesn't have a lot of CC effects. It doesn't have a lot of things to, hold them there or something. Ice is still good for an OT. Fire is good MT or OT, just because of damage, not because of CC capability. Ice, I think, still pulls out really good for that. Earth is another one that's really good for CC. So I would think Earth and Ice would be there for the top for the OT position. But when it comes to configuration or composition, I would definitely be running this specific artifact on the O, without a doubt, with no doubt in my mind, in damage roll with tank gear. No question, no two ways around it. And then on the other artifacts, I would run the O as well with the buffs. Well, because they're dealing damage, like the precision, the cog, for example. I would run that on a high health troll. Same thing. You could be in control or roll, but you got to pay attention to this effect. But you got to understand how the modifier applies to the scale to the health. So that's why gear and configuration matters in this game. It matters, right? It does. And I think, especially when we're taking a look at the SP configuration, this is going to set us up for higher end damage than a traditional tank, but we'll have Dom. Like, if I wanted to, I could scale some of this down into the might and go more Dom, and you might have to make that adjustment. Not saying you would have to, but the gear usually is higher. You're going to have a higher Dom from the gear, but you do get a percentage modifier from this. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and put a few points into it for the percentage modifier for scale factor. I would want to go ahead and do that due to the fact that there's a diminishing return. So let's say I go back to the House of Legend or the Hall of Doom. I go for the respec, and if I'm going to respec, I want to take enough for the percentage modifier for scale without diminishing too much of my damage output. Because Dom, you're going to need Dom for CC. Now, like I said, I wouldn't run Rage on CC. They just don't have a lot of CC. I mean, for the purpose of the pull, it'll work. I just don't think it's as effective as far as, CCing. I still think Ice has way more potential for OT. And I'm in the progress of building a Prog team. We're getting there. We were running and get some feats last night and doing some stuff. So, it's going to be a process, but I have faith. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and reset our skill points. Now, I got to go through everything again and respec it. And the reason I like getting on the PTS, because I can check things out without investing it on live. Then I go to live, and that's what we focus on. That's how we focus. Okay, got that. Weapons. And I shouldn't be so... I'm actually doing this a little lazy way. I mean, technically I should be like having my paper out and making notes, doing the comparisons, making but I'm being lazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Pistols. Stat points. Now, the biggest thing is, you could take a Dom here and might, but your superpower charge isn't going to be as whatever. You're going to get a bigger power charge, and that's kind of important right there for the up. In my opinion. You're still going to get a 10% might on both ends. You could take this and then redirect if you wanted to. But, you get both types, but you have to be in whatever. I would still take this because you're a damage roll. I would still take into the damage. Okay, now here becomes the question. Now, it says controller or tank. But look, let's take a look at where our Dom is currently in this roll. You always want to make sure on this. 26-4. Okay, So when it says stat pool, tank, right? So let's say we invest 20. Right? Now we're up and down. See how that works? Even though it says tank, it's just giving you indication. These stats still are applied. Alright? So let's say also I'm going to use weapon combo between clip as a tank. Would I want this to go out the door? No. So let's go ahead and say, I invest 30 or whatever. We'll get more dom, obviously. But we want to be more into the might. We're an OT. So let's go, imagine we're going to invest, because this is a boost. This is where most of it all has to go into. Actually, let's just whatever on this. Because this is going to scale off of this, but we want damage. This is the whole point of this. So let's go with 60 for now. Right? Let's get that precision boost up to 40 for now. Okay. And then let's go another 10 here. And then let's go 40 here. Let's put 100 into our health. Now, when we take a look at our stats, you can see that our health is still over 200,000. We're going to have a nice power regen, which is really good, especially as an OT. Our might is 79 currently. We're going to go to Doom Washington. We're going to get a double effect for being in damage roll, but we're going to have a CC effect. No. I got to maybe switch the loadout for more of a, what I would anticipate like an OT. OT, I would still run it like a damage effect. Oh no, we're good, we're good. Well, no, we're not. Alright, so I would still run this. Now, as an OT, I would have the Vindicate on. Okay. This is why, portion of damage taken. Now, you could actually go with Infuriate. I like Infuriate. Actually, I'd probably still run Infuriate, to be honest with you. Infuriate on damage or tank, it's so good. We'd have this pull, right? We would get this for Plasma Burn. See, this is all damaging effect. The AoE would actually be good, so I probably would roll this in Plasma. I would probably also run Severe Punishment or a Shield, in my opinion. I want to run that. We need Damaging Effect, and I'd probably run the Outrage or Spammable. You could run Frenzy It's a pretty good spammable, but you can clip, weapon combo for rotation. Usually you can get all 3 combos out on this. That's a plasma burn though too. So, I would probably put another defensive in. So I'd probably do Remorseless Recovery to a portion of your damage dealt to enemies. So this is what I would roll up, for an OT. And then we come into stats. We're getting an 80, almost a 90, almost. So we're getting 9,000 more. Now imagine applying that, right? 9,000 to your group, because it's scaled off of what? Our health. So that 9,000 is going to scale to your party. Nice thing about the poll, also, we're going to get, so you definitely, but like I said, would I run a Rage OT? No, I'd probably run a Frost. I would have to switch around this rotation. I mean, it couldn't be done. I'm not saying Rage can't be OT. I think Rage makes better MT, in my opinion. Atomic's good too, though. Fire, Atomic, and Rage, but for like MTs are really good, in my opinion. I think Earth and Ice OTs, and a setup with CC capabilities is just optimal. But yeah. Oh, serious. That looks fucking good. This looks amazing. So, yeah, we'll get a 9K, like in this type of in just this configuration. We could go higher, if we wanted to, into the health, if we want to. This is just kind of a base premise of saying, okay, like if I wanted to, I could drop this, for example, a little bit lower to boost this up, but remember we do have a diminishing return. So let's say we do everything the same, but let's say we drop these both down to 60, we redirect the 20 in here, for example. So this will be 124, for example. So let's go ahead and go back to the Hall of Doom. Because the more health we have, the more the buff's going to be applied. We want to avoid the diminishing return as much as possible and get the best out of both worlds. That we can control. If it's controllable, that's what we do. Did I pass it? What the fuck, yo? There it is. Alright. So now, we're going to go ahead and pick up all of our passives again, because we have to. Alright. I'm going to take that for our damage. I mean, technically, I think my other artifact scales from health too, so I could even give a precision buff, but I'd have to combo. And you can do that. You just pick a weapon that's easy combo, 2-hit combo. One-handed's really good for that. One hand, or even staff. Staff has a really good combo, easy combo. Like really easy combos. Alright. Everything else is done. Same thing. We're going to go ahead to the superpower. We want to take the critical modifiers. We'll just take it to max. It caps out anyways. So now we're just going to put like 40. We'll take let's go 70. I mean, technically I'll have more Dom and whatever because it's not a boss, but you know, I don't know. Now I could go 140. And let's put 10 over here. Because we want Dom. Alright. So we're at 204 health. Not much of a boost. Our might took a little bit of a hit, but once again, yeah, I wish I could see that a little bit better, because I think like yeah, it becomes so marginal, you know, with that, but I still need to get artifacts too, and that'll scale the percentage modifier. So we're at a 10% boost to scale. So I'd probably put up to the 10s if you get more SP into it. So see, we gotta have 120 points just to get 1%. The diminishing return is noticeable. So for optimization, we want to unlock this up to about a 10%. And then redirect appropriately. So anything under 400 and something SP becomes very diminishing. But it's a perk, but it is what it is. The health marginal, I'd probably take everything up to 10% to optimize for at least we could avoid the diminishing returns as much as possible. The healing's there, which I really enjoy it. Let's take a look at that stat. 87 on this. You know what? I bet you I can hit 90. I can hit the 90. I might switch weapons though. Now that I'm thinking about it. Go with the staff and then combo, melee combo. Pick up the precision. and then that buff could be applied. Then run a modifier for tank. So basically, you have a 1 buffer. It would be just for ad control, but it would really work in Prog so good. And this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for my league's incentives. Oh, no, I don't even know. I went to the wrong place. All of them. So, I want a 10% without reducing to the diminishing factor. Across the board. Okay. Alright. So, once again, passives. Let's go with our buff. We're gonna go staff. I think the AoE's in the easy melee combo, so it's like right here, tap tap hold. That's an easy combo to pull off. Super easy. And that one's under one-handed, so I don't need the other one unlocked. I just need a combo, and then I can adjust the build, and I'll probably roll this in Frost, to be honest, like this configuration. I mean, I did pick that as my start, but now we have our combo. Alright, now everything's unlocked. We're going to go ahead once again. If I'm going to do weapon combo, I mean, but the power regenerations, whatever, and the might would, you know, yeah. So we're going to unlock once again this. Just do 70 across the board until I and then we'll redirect the rest into the health. I could afford to drop this down to 50 to boost these two effects, then I think I'll do that. Or just even 40. So, hold on. I'm just using it for the weapon combo. I want the damage when I'm going to do it, but it's not going to be as preference as my might abilities. Let's even put it at 30 for now. Okay. Let's go 70. 70. Gives me 62. So I can put 20 more across the board, but I think I need 100 into 4. So let's up this. We can put 20. Yeah, 100. So the DOM looks good, actually, in my opinion. So let's go 30, and then we'll put 10. Or even if I wanted the rest. Now, in my opinion, this looks good. We should hit over that. Mind you, I didn't get the other trinkets or anything. It'll go higher, obviously. So prior, our might's at 81. What's our health at? 214. Oh, there they are. Oh, I forgot to switch out weapons. I forgot to add the plasma burn. $91. Yeah. I mean, so we're higher. So now with this configuration, we went to 91. From 81. 10,000 might boost from this build. From this build, we're getting a 10,000 might boost to party. 10,000 to party. That's pretty. 10,000 to party. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Nice. So that's how you can pretty much tell, you know what I'm saying, that you're doing it right. Now you're going over, you know what you're doing, you know how you're going to be effective, and now, what's even better, hold on. What's even better, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Is when you unlock the other artifacts and all that stuff. All right. Right, should be enough room, I think. So let's go check it out. Let's get some artifacts slotted. Definitely not it. Alright. Now, it's kind of important to understand this is off your health. So this is going to increase weapon capability. So, yeah. Hitting an enemy with a cross weapon combo. So, am I going to take that? Look, yeah, because it's going off health. We're going to fortify it. Absolutely. I'm kind of curious. 1 second. I thought so. Why didn't they give us 10? So stupid. Give us now. Hit the slot. Oh, baby. And we need one more artifact. This is where I would probably take a defensive one, being an OT, or, you know, whatever. But you got to understand you're going to be in roll, so that's going to be effective as well. So this is where I would take like the any roll. No. No. Nope. I mean, you could go critical, but damaged weapons, no. It's recommended for tanks. And you're going to get a defensive bonus. Max health converted to defense. Yeah. This is the one I would roll. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's also going to give us health boosts. Restoration health, dom, yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, it's not completely maxed out. Oh, baby. So we had 91 the last time. So we gave it 10k buff. And I need to switch my weapon. And I would probably go with the DPS. I mean, yeah. So it's just, this crossover is easy. Tap, tap, hold. Tap, tap, hold. Tap, tap, hold. And then you're going to give that buff. So dual buffs on and off tank scaled from health. That is fucking crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god, George. Oh shit! Oh shit! 13,000 max to the stem. Oh, or 12,000. Oh my god. Mystic, you're a genius. You're a fucking genius, dude. You're a fucking genius. Thank you very much. Thank you. About. Now, the biggest question of it is, am I going to get, well, I gotta drop the health below it to get the boost to the health to the conversion to defense. So when you take a look at my defense, we're at 85,000. I gotta let shit beat me up. Yo. Oh, you're not enough. Hey guys. Beat me up. Now let's take a look at the scale. 90. $100. Nice. And we're regenning health when I'm damaged. Fucking slick! Oh my god! Oh my flipping lord! I'm a fucking genius. I am a fucking madman. Oh! I'm the king! This is what years of alpha-ness will do to you. Oh. A 12k might buff. 12k. With, you know, not even max SP. So, that's really good. And I think that's important, you know, to work with what you have and how it's going to scale. Trying to minimize any diminishing returns. So DPS configuration, tank gear, yeah, that's badass. Oh, that is sick. That is disgustingly awesome. Oh, disgusting. So disgusting. I can't even go out that pet because I forgot I didn't do the thing, but I just got it to slot it. But yeah, there it is, baby girls. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Yo, what's up? Dude, Alan, man, you see this shit? I don't know if you're still there, bro, but this is sick. A 12k boost to might on and off tank on DPS roll. Tap, tap. Oh, hold. Wait. Look at this shit, bro. Oh my fucking gosh! I'm a madman. 81 to 94. It doesn't last long. You gotta keep pushing up on that thing. But fuck, dude. This is the shit. Dude, look at that. Sack! ESO players never knew. They fucking never had a clue what Mystic really was. Oh, baby, baby, that's what I like. Hell yeah, dude, yeah. It's gonna be sick, dude. Dude, we're gonna be ripping. We're gonna with me behind all the fucking calculations and shit and the configurations. We're gonna rip. We're gonna rip the fucking back. Like I said, the off tank won't be able to have a single target taunt, but as far as the dom to the pull for the ads control, fuck, dude, it's on. It's on, and the off tank's going to be dealing more and buffing. So even the crossover to the weapons for precise buffs, got it. So for example, on this setup, currently prior, the weapon DPS is 1682, and when you do this, you gain precision buff. So precision currently is 3.9, right? So hold on. Tap, tap, hold. Now when I come back in, 4-3. Tap, up. Tap, tap. Up, support tap. Hold, wait. Tap, tap. Wait. Tap, tap, hold. And then you go up. 43. Tap, tap, hold. So you get a 4,000 weapon precision buff with this build too. You get a 4,000 precision buff applied with a 10,000 might. Oh, baby. Oh my God. Oh my flipping Lord. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's gonna be bomb. I can't wait. I can't wait. Anyways, man, thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate it. And Deep, thank you for stopping in as well. I appreciate that too. As always, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystic's MMOs. Where do they come? Where do they come? They come here. Content creators come to me. You know why? We know why. Anyways, as always, have a nice day.